What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Mike, and today's video is going to be on 6 league winning players to trade for. These are not going to be buy low sell high players, but just players I think have a very strong outlook for the rest of the season that could ultimately win your fantasy leagues. Let me know in the comments below what your best trades this season have been, or if you guys got fleeced in any trades. Let me know, and I'll give some feedback to why you may have gotten fleeced or how I think the long-term outcome may be for your team. Make sure you join the Discord. We have hundreds of awesome fantasy hockey members in there actively talking, and it's popping up on my left screen right now as we speak. So jump in that Discord. If the link doesn't work, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to get you in there. We are doing a Movember campaign looking to raise $500 from the community. So if you're interested, make sure you click that link pinned in the bottom. And for those interested in sports betting, make sure you sign up on Prize Picks using code PUCK to receive a 100% deposit match up to $100. Before we get into this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and without further ado, let's jump into the 6 league winning players to trade for video. Starting off this video with the first league winning player that I'm looking to trade for right now across all my leagues is Alex Debrincat of the Ottawa Senators. Honestly, I was really skeptical of him going into this season. I thought that Patrick Kane was a big component to Debrincat's success, but he's starting to come to his own in Ottawa, and he has been very, very good. He is one of just 11 players this season with at least 10 shots per 60 and 5 hits per 60. And the reason why I'm comparing these two stats is because they're very common amongst most leagues, and they just add to his overall floor. And that's what you want from players that are going to be contributing on your fantasy teams every single night. He has a 12.52 shots per 60 rate at 5-on-5, first amongst all NHL players right now, and a minus 3.5 goals scored above expected. Mike's favorite stat on this video, but it just shows that how unlucky Debrincat actually is early on, and he holds a 7.6 expected goals for right now, which is 14th amongst forwards. Debrincat's pretty much doing everything we want him to do. He's playing on the top line, he's playing on power play 1, he's playing over 19 minutes per night, and he's firing the puck at a rate that we haven't seen in his career. I'm biting into Debrincat. This left wing position is very scarce amongst all leagues right now. People in the Discord are actively asking me for some left wingers to trade for. This is your guy. I'm still a little bit sick, so if my voice sounds off, that's probably why, but I lied to you guys. I do have another left winger that I want to talk about here that I'm looking to trade for that I think could be a league winner in the rest of the season. Filip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators. I feel like this Nashville team has been struggling. They do have some injuries right now, and if they bounce back at any point, Forsberg's going to be a very big beneficiary of that. He is one of just 10 players I raised the shot rate by 1 at 11 shots per 60 and 5 hits per 60. Again, just adding to a very solid floor that Forsberg will give you when adding him to your team. He's at a 9.6% shooting percentage right now in the early going of the season, a drop of about 4% from his career average, meaning it's likely to regress back to the mean at some point, but it isn't too far off. He does have 105 shot attempts. He's firing the puck like crazy, and he's also leading all Nashville forwards in shot attempts by 34. So he is the #1 offensive guy there, the #1 goal scoring guy there. The puck just goes to him or Yossi. And I want players that have that capability to be the X factor on their team and for their entire offense to pretty much run through them. Now, in 2021, he did have an exceptional year. I don't know if he can go back to that, but if he can, these stats were insane. He is the only player with at least 2 goals per 60, 2 assists per 60, 10 shots per 60, and 5 hits per 60. He was a category monster. He covered every single category, above average in goals, above average in assists. If he can get back to that form, or this Nashville team can really bounce back from what we saw last season, Filip Forsberg is in for a very good rest of year. Oh, you guys are not gonna like this, but the last forward that I think is a league winner for the rest of the season that you could trade for, Jordan Kyrou of the St. Louis Blues. And honestly, hear me out. I think this entire Blues team is underperforming right now. They went to the conference finals last year. They lost to Colorado, and now they're a below 500 team, and they only lost Ville Husso. You can't tell me that one goaltender makes this team that bad and that bad offensively, but man, 13 games for Kyrou, just 5 points. He's a minus 16. A minus 16. That is insane to me. 42 shots, but there is some upside. First, Let's look back at his last year's stats. 74 games played, 75 points, 19 points in the power play, and 188 shots. Career highs across the board, and it was a breakout year for him. Now, people are going to say he's going to slump this year because he did break out last year. I don't think that's true at all. I mean, he's a little bit older now. He was good the year prior, and I think he's able to sustain this rate, and I'm going to show you why. 10.4 shots per 60. He's raised his shot rate from last season to a 1.2 shot per 60 increase. His possession metrics are better 5-on-5 right now at a 53.4% on ice Corsi for percentage, a 1.7% increase, although small, still relevant, because if it was way down, then that would kind of lead us to believe that he should be struggling this season. His shot attempts are up this season, 5.3 shot attempts per game, +1 from 2021, which is actually pretty significant. And right now with Kyrou, you're pretty much buying at the bottom. For my stock traders in here, I honestly think that, and the more I'm doing these buy low, sell high videos or just trade videos, it's like kind of like the stock market. Like you're playing the game in fantasy hockey where you got to buy players at their bottom and sell them when they're at their highest. And buying into Jordan Kyrou right now is literally no risk for you. Some people say, yeah, I can trade for him and then he doesn't do well and I lose out, but you're not going to have to trade a whole lot. And you could even add him on waivers in some leagues. I think this is a solid time to buy in on some of these Blues players. Jordan Kyrou, Buchnevich. I could even add Tarasenko in here as well. I love all these guys. I would be looking to trade for them as soon as possible. Moving on to the first league-winning defenseman that I'm looking to trade for right now, Noah Dobson of the New York Islanders. Someone I loved in preseason and I do think is having a very solid season. The Islanders do play tonight, so knowing my luck with the Islanders players when I say to trade for them, he's going to have a pretty good night. But regardless, I still think he's a very good trade target. I feel like he's still a pretty small name, and people don't generally like owning Islanders players, and you can really take advantage of this. He has 106 shot attempts so far this season, 5th amongst all active defensemen, a 6.65 shot attempts per game rate. That's up from 1.6 last season. 8.4 shots per 60, again, up from last year and the 7th best in the league this year. He is dominating when he's on the ice, which is pretty surprising for an Islanders team that really flourishes off strong defense, but mostly blocking shots. So they do actually allow offensive opportunities quite a bit, but they are very good at just blocking shots, not allowing pucks to get to the net. So a 59% honest Corsi for percentage is very good, 12th amongst defensemen, and a 60% honest scoring chances for percentage, 13th amongst defensemen. And something to add with Noah Dobson, he's a very, very elite shot blocker. He is 34th amongst defensemen in blocks per 60. For leagues with shot blocks, Dobson is usually good for offensive opportunities, shots, goals, assists. He's on the top power play unit. But when you have a defenseman that can also add to the peripherals with blocks and hits, that just increases his floor even more, and his ceiling begins to get higher and higher. So I love Noah Dobson. I like this Islanders team. I think he is a very, very solid trade target if you're trying to bolster your D-core. Moving on now to what I think is the best trade target in this video, John Carlson of the Washington Capitals. Coming off one of the best seasons of his career, Carlson was 5th for defenseman points last year with 71. He was 4th for goals with 17, and he had the 6th most power play points amongst defensemen at 25. He is an absolute beast coming off injury, and he didn't really have a very good start to the season. This Capitals team is very, very injury-ridden right now. They are struggling to find some offense. But I think if this team bounced back even a little bit, John Carlson can maintain his status as a top 5 defenseman, and you don't really have to trade a whole lot for him right now. And what I mean by a whole lot is, for example, I just traded Roope Hintz in one of my leagues for him. Hintz is off to a great start, but I think defensemen are really, really important, and John Carlson going into the season was being drafted in the top 40 players, top 5 defensemen, and if you can trade some of those very, very strong start forwards for John Carlson, I definitely think it's worth it. He is currently 2nd amongst defensemen power play time on ice. If you watch any of the Washington Capitals games, him and Ovi just don't get off the ice, and that's kind of what you want from a defenseman who is playing big minutes and in a big opportunity on a top power play unit. He has actually raised his shot attempts per game, which is kind of surprising for me. I think it's going to end up evening out at some point, but for any player that I see like shooting the puck more, I am way more intrigued. 7 shot attempts per game right now, +2 from 2021, and he's actually added to his block total quite a bit this season, adding a full shot block per game from last season at 2.4 blocks per game. Again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but he is just upping his current floor, and his ceiling, John Carlson, is easily a top 5 point scoring defenseman. If you're in a goals and assists league, he's even more valuable. I love John Carlson. I'd be looking to trade for him across all your leagues. You thought I was going to leave out a goalie, didn't you? No. I made sure to include at least one. There weren't many options, but I think Spencer Knight could be a league-winning trade target goalie with, I don't think, as much value as people think he actually has right now. So, I mean, you know how much, especially if you're in the Discord, you know how much I talk about Stuart Skinner and how he's going to be taking over Campbell's role. I think Spencer Knight also has an opportunity to take over the role of Sergei Bobrovsky. I mean, Knight has better stats, but Bobrovsky does have a $10.5 million contract, so that's probably why Bob is still getting 50% of the starts. But at some point, you just got to start your better players. So Bobrovsky this season, a .897 save percentage, a .329 goals against average, where Knight in 7 starts has a .922 and a .231 goals against average. Just much better. And Knight hasn't allowed more than 3 goals in any of his starts, and he does have a 40 save shutout against the best team in the league right now, the Carolina Hurricanes. Let me know if you think that's a hot take. I think they're the best. But this Florida Panthers team, and I was just talking to someone in the Discord about it, they are just as good, if not better, than we saw last season. A 59% Corsi for percentage, second best in the NHL. A 57% shots for percentage, third best in the NHL. A 57% expected goals for percentage, fourth best in the NHL. And a 62% scoring chances for percentage, which is the best in the league right now. They are absolutely dominating teams. I think if I were to pick a favorite team right now, you guys probably don't even know if I have one or not. I don't. I think Florida Panthers might be there. I just love how good this team is. They are dominating. I own so many players across all my leagues, so there is a little bit of a bias behind it. But if I can get a goaltender on a team that has been dominating this much early on in the season, I think they're going to have longevity. I think that with Ekblad back, they're going to be even better. I want Spencer Knight on my team before his value gets way too high. Thank you for watching the 6 league-winning players to trade for video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.